Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday Sweat Club. I hope you had a fantastic week last week, and now we are going to kick off another great week with a wonderful class. So we are going to begin today in a seated meditation. A couple different options for your seat. If you happen to have a pillow or a cushion, you might do what I'm doing, which is bringing the pillow to the center of the mat, taking my knees wide, and then I'll sit my butt on the pillow. So this is kind of just like a straddle position. Feels really nice for me. You could also stack two up so you're up nice and high. This can be a good alternative for having your legs crossed. So you could also be up on a pillow with your legs crossed. You could be down on the ground. You could have your feet out extended in front of you, or you could be in a chair. That works too. But my main goal is to have you be comfortable. So pick something that you feel like you can hold for at least 5 minutes. And then get any wiggles you might have in your body out. Feel if you need to adjust the spine at all, if you need to adjust your head, maybe you can just move into the shoulders to make sure they're nice and relaxed. And then you're going to take your hands somewhere on your body. So your hands could be on your thighs if that feels comfortable. You could have them face down if you're looking for a little grounding today. Face up if you would like to receive energy. And then take a big breath in. Exhale slowly out the nose, slowing the mind, slowing the breath, and slowing the heartbeat. And then bring your awareness to the feeling of the air flowing in and out of your nostrils. So you should feel a little sensation right around the tip of your nose, or maybe down the back of your throat. Pick one of these areas to focus on, so that will be the focus of the meditation today. And just breathe in and out naturally. Maybe as you relax more, your breath slows a little bit more. And if your mind starts to wander, bring it back to that sensation of air around your nostrils or in the back of your throat. Just single pointed focus. All right, take a deep breath in. And then exhale slowly out the nose. Now we'll go from these short natural breaths into some more expansive breath. So every time you breathe in, try to challenge your lungs to expand a little bit more. And every time you exhale, maybe you can gently contract the belly, pulling the belly button in and up, pushing out any last bit of air out of the lungs. So today's intention is wonderfully mellow. I've been noticing myself rushing a lot lately, and I've also been seeing this in my friends and family. A lot of times life asks us to move with speed. We have a to-do list, we have appointments, we have people to see, but by rushing, means that we're never truly present. So we are going to start to embody this, just slowing down within an experience today. So even when we're moving, trying to move slowly and mindfully, noticing sensations in the body, and keeping the same focus on the breath. So take 3 more very deep inhales and exhales. One more big breath in. And exhale, you'll release. If you have your legs crossed, lean backwards and just switch the cross of your legs. If you're sitting in another way, you can just keep the seat exactly as it is. Just wanted to crisscross the opposite direction. Now you can let your eyes open, but make them open gently, almost like they're pretty heavy. So you let the lids open just a little bit. And then clasp your hands like you're begging or like you're in prayer, and then flip the palms out in front of you. So just a big stretch into the hands and the wrists. Maybe you can expand through the fingertips. And then from this, we're going to twist side to side, nice and smooth. So as you inhale really slowly over to the right. Keep your hips grounded so you're only twisting to the spine. And exhale back to center. Inhale to the left. Again, hips stay grounded, only using the spine. Exhale back to center. Good mindful movement. Inhale. Moving to the side. Exhale will take you back to center. And again, to the side, opposite direction. And you'll exhale back to center. Great work. Keep the hands clasped, but now inhale, lift the palms up above the head. And then exhale, bring them down again. So we'll do the same movement, inhale, lifting up, opening, shrug the shoulders to the ears. Exhale back down. Take 3 more with your own breath, trying to get as high as you can. Imagine you're pushing your palms into the ceiling above you as you stretch. And then as you exhale, you'll come back down. Last round. Lift up. And then release at the top and just let your hands fall down by your sides. Close your eyes and feel the sensation in your arms, your shoulders. You should feel a little bit of a burn by now, right? We had that extended. So just notice the energy, blood flow into the muscle. Breath in. And breath out. All right, if you're up on a cushion, you can come forward. We're going to make our way to tabletop pose. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And then just move through some cat and cow. But cat and cow can become an automatic pose in yoga because we do it so often. So today, how can you do cat and cow slightly differently than normal? Maybe you start moving with the head or the tailbone first. Maybe you move slower. But get creative and find a way to make this different. Make it feel new, even though it's not. Take a couple more rounds. Props to you if you're moving maybe a little slower than normal. And then come on back to center. Curl your toes under, walk your hands back and take a seat on your heels. Bring your palms on top of your thighs, so broken toe pose. You can sit here. If this isn't accessible to you, you could be here or even here. That's fine too. Ideally, if the toes are curled under, we're just going to push the toes down into the mat. So you're actually expanding through the toes as you press down. And then once more, zoom into what sensations you feel in the feet. A reminder that we want maybe challenging, but not bad. So if it feels bad, you'll come out. But if it feels just a little uncomfortable, you sit. See if you can push the toes into the ground a little bit more. Take a breath in. Breath out. Again, inhale. Exhale. One more time, breath in. And then exhale, come forward. Walk the hands down to the mat and then untuck the toes. Maybe tap the feet out on the mat to bring blood flow back to the feet. Keep tapping for 3, 2, and 1. Stop tapping. Close your eyes. Just feel the sensations in your feet. What does it actually feel like? A question we don't ask ourselves that often. All right, perfect. Walk your hands one handprint forward. Then lean forward and align the shoulders over the wrists. Elbows move back and lower all the way down to your belly. Take your time getting there. 3, 2, nice. To the ground. 1. Let's take the hands out to the sides, fingertips only, and then inhale. Lift with the shoulder blades first. So first try to lift your shoulder blades to the sky. Then let your head follow, coming up into this cobra variation. And exhale, lower down, kind of creating this nice wave. So we'll do a few of these. Inhale, lift up with the shoulder blades and then the head. Exhale, lower down chest, lower down forehead. Again, inhale, lift up, shoulder blades lead, head lifts. And then exhale, chest comes down, forehead comes down. Take a breath in. And bring the hands forward and put your palms on top of one another and just rest your forehead on your hands so you can kind of get nice and comfy here. Then zip your legs closer together. So slide the legs in so they touch. Bend into your right knee. Now take a breath in and try to push your right foot up towards the ceiling by lifting your right thigh up off the mat. It might not lift, that's fine, but think about trying to lift it if you can. If your thigh is off the mat, how high can you get it off the mat while still pushing the pelvis, the hip bone down into the ground? Hold here. Breath in. Breath out. Again, inhale. Lift the foot up. Exhale. Once more. Breath in. Lift. And then exhale, lower right knee down, lower right foot down, release. Perfect. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, bend into the left knee, flex through the foot, and then lift that left knee up off the mat any amount. So you're really trying to ideally get the thigh up off the ground. If you feel any pulling in the knee while you do this, back off and just bend your knee a little less as you lift the foot up. So you'll change the angle. If you feel any pulling in the knee, lift a little higher. Breath in. Breath out. Again, inhale. Lift higher, exhale. Once more, breath in, lift. Great work. Exhale, lower knee down, lower foot down. Extend both legs long for a breath in. And a breath out. All right, one more time before we come up. Lift your head up. Walk your fingertips out to the side. We'll do 3 more spinal waves. So as you inhale, you'll lift shoulder blades and head up. Maybe you can get a little higher than last time. Open the heart, relax through your belly. Exhale, lower down. Again, lift up shoulder blades and then head. Relax the front of your belly. Exhale, lower down. Last time, bringing you up. See how high you can get. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your low back, and then exhale, lower down. Hands come by your sides, curl your toes under. Option 1, plank. Option 2, you're going to push up just a tabletop pose. And then hands stay forward, curl the toes under, lift up and back, downward facing dog. So option to move or option to stay still. Reminder, if down dog doesn't work for you, you can always stay in tabletop pose. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Get them connected to the mat. Option to pedal out the feet, maybe. Okay, come back to stillness. Sink your heels down. Take a breath in. And then exhale, walk your hands to the back of the mat and fold forward at the back of the mat. Take your time getting there. Once you're there, grab for opposite elbows. Let's take a ragdoll, swaying side to side. And then release the hands down to the mat. Two options. If you have any low back problems, you're just going to sit back into a chair pose and then come to standing. But if your low back works well, and you're like, yep, I can do a roll up, push your feet away from each other without moving them. So push them towards the outer edges of the mat. What this does is it will slightly engage your glutes and engage your hamstrings. Then pull your belly button in and roll up really slowly, one vertebra at a time, while maintaining the push of the legs out to the side of the mat. And come to standing. Lift your head up, palms face forward, Tadasana. Breath in. Breath out. Okay, sweep the hands up, look up. And then exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk your hands forward very slowly to the front of the mat and come back to your plank or tabletop pose. You are going to lower down again. Move the elbows back. 3, 2, to your belly. 1. Untuck your toes. Walk your hands out to the side. Just one lift here. Lift up shoulders. Lift up head. Exhale, lower down. Slide your hands back by your sides. Hold them here. So keep your hands where they are in a push-up position. Roll your shoulder heads back and lift into a bit of a baby cobra. Then bend both knees and flex your feet up towards the ceiling. So first, even though your feet are flexed up towards the ceiling, push your knees down into the mat first. So push, 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 push the knees down, push the knees down, push the knees down. Great. Keep pushing. Pull your belly button into your spine. Take a breath in. And then from here, everybody push up to tabletop. Great work. Curl your toes under, push up and back, downward facing dog. Breath in. Exhale, walk your hands to the back of the mat and fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, fold. Step your feet a little bit wider. So they're going to be around hip width distance apart. And then you can bend in the knees as much as you need to plant your right hand forward and in the middle of your feet. So we're creating a triangle. Right hand is the top of the triangle. And then inhale, you'll twist open to the left. You could have a block on the ground as well. If possible, look up towards your top hand. Exhale, lower left hand down, reach right hand high. Inhale. Exhale, right hand down, reach left hand high. And coming back down, left hand down, right hand up. Bring your right hand down, straighten your legs any amount and fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, walk forward, walk, 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 up into your downward facing dog. Then walk your feet closer together slightly so they're more hip width distance apart. Narrow them just a little bit. Inhale your right leg high. Kick your foot to your butt and open your hip. So I cue closed hips all the time, but right now, see how much you can open your right hip over to the side. Inhale, straighten the leg, close the hip. Exhale, take your knee to your nose. Breath in. And exhale, step through low lunge. Spin your back heel down and inhale, come up, warrior one. So back heel is not on the mat. Reach the hands to the hips first. This is just to make sure your hips are pointed in the correct direction. Pull your right hip back in space and then sink down deeper. Breath in. Breath out. Push into your left heel, really firm. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale your hands high, reach. And then exhale, sweep the hands down, frame the foot. Push into your hands, cat pose in the spine. Can you lift your right foot up and then push back into downward facing dog? We'll go right into the other side. Inhale your left leg high and then kick your foot to your butt and open your hips. So nice big dramatic opening of the hip. Continue dropping your left shoulder down though, so shoulders are still pretty even. Next, inhale, straighten the leg, close the hip. Exhale, take your knee to your nose. Lean forward, cat pose in the spine, breath in. And exhale, step through, low lunge, spin your back heel down. Before you even come up, pull your left hip back in space. So shift the left hip backwards before you come up. Then inhale, first hands high. Exhale, hands to the hips. Now you can really feel, engage, right? This is all about sensation today. What are you feeling? Where are your hips pointing? Push into your right heel. Sink down into your left knee. Ideally, we're trying to find some alignment of left knee over the left ankle. But if you're not there today, don't worry about it too much. Just continue pushing the feet away from each other and really grounding through that right heel for 3, 2. Great. 1. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, sweep the hands down, frame the foot. Push your palms into the mat, round through the spine. Try to lift your left foot up, and then up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, either plank or you can take the knees down, tabletop. And we'll lower down to the ground slow. 3, 2, 1. Okay, listen carefully. We're changing it up. Reach your hands forward. So you're going to reach your hands all the way forward on the mat. And then you'll put the heel of the hand on the mat with your thumb up in the air, like you're giving a thumbs up. So reach that hand forward, and then relax your head down to the mat. If you've got anything along your sides, we're going to sweep out, so you might need to move to make sure you're not hitting anything as you sweep. Take a breath in. Keep your forehead glued to the mat. Lift your hands up off of the ground. So heels of the hands hover. And then start to sweep, and you're going to turn those thumbs down towards the ground. Sweep the arms back. Back, back, and eventually you'll bend into the elbows and try to knock your knuckles together above your low back without touching your low back. Again, if you touch the low back, don't worry, but try to keep them off. Great. Take a breath in, straighten the arms, and then slowly rotate as you sweep forward. Rotate, 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 bringing the thumb until eventually the thumbs will face up in front of you, and you can take a break, rest the hands on the ground, keep the head on the mat for a breath in. Breath out. All right, 2 options for this next round. Option 1 is you can keep the forehead on the mat. Option 2, you can lift the forehead up off of the mat and try to come into a baby back bend with your upper back. So those are the 2 choices. I'm going to do the second option just so I can see you guys practicing. It helps me. All right, from here, inhale, lift the hands up, thumbs still point up. Exhale, slowly sweep and flip the thumbs down little by little by little as you sweep the hands towards the back of the mat. Sweep, sweep, sweep. Eventually bend in the elbows, and maybe you can knock your knuckles together above your low back or above your glutes or really anywhere. When you're ready, extend through the arms. Slow rotation, little by little by little, rotating until eventually thumbs face up at the top of the mat. But keep the hands high. Don't give up. We're going to do another round. Take a breath in. Lift higher. Exhale, thumbs come down, sweep out to the sides, little by little, rotate, rotate, and then eventually bend in the elbows. If you're lifted up like me, lift higher, bring the knuckles together. Take a breath in. Exhale, bend into straighten the arms, I should say. Unbend, rotate, 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 little by little, bring the thumbs forward, lift the hands high. You can do one more. I believe in you. Let's take it. Lift up. Sweep the hands back, rotate as you flip the thumb down to the ground, little by little. Bend into the elbow, touch the knuckles, lift higher. Take a breath in, straighten the arms, slowly rotate. I know so much warmth in the shoulders. Breath in, lift. Exhale, release the hands down, release the head down. And just let your palms come to the mat. Observe the sensations in your arms and shoulders. Without a label, just notice what you're experiencing. Breath in. And exhale, slide the hands back into push-up position. Roll your shoulders back. Option 1, you can press up to plank. Option 2, tabletop pose. And then once you're there, push up and back, downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. All right, next inhale, walk your hands back towards your feet again. And then fold at the back of the mat, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, sit your butt back, take your arms wide, push through chair, come to standing, reach your arms high. Exhale, hands by your sides, Tadasana, close your eyes, one big breath in. And a breath out. Okay, blink your eyes open, and you're going to bring your hands behind your back on your low back. So I'll demo, you'll be right about here, thumbs point out, fingertips point down, and then push the hands into the back. You won't be up on the spine too high, you're closer to the sacrum as you push the hands down, hug the elbows in. Now, we're bringing our awareness to the spine. So you might notice already when you take this shape, we're in a bit of a back bend. Your spine is bending because by rolling the shoulders back, we force the heart to be open. So we're just going to exaggerate this movement by squeezing the shoulder blades together more and trying to push the chest and belly forward as much as you can. So see how far you can push your belly forward, how far you can push your chest forward, while you continue to lengthen through the spine, creating, believe it or not, even though you're moving the body forward, we're in a back bend. Option to let the head lean back, maybe open the throat gently towards the ceiling while still tucking the chin. 3. Push the stomach forward, roll the shoulders back. 2. And 1. Inhale to center, take the bend out of the spine. And then exhale, slide your hands down your butt, your hamstrings, maybe even down to your calves, and pull yourself down and in, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, walk forward into downward facing dog. Right away, inhale your right leg high. Hip is closed. Exhale, take your knee to your nose. Take a breath in. And then exhale, step your foot through, low lunge, spin your back heel down. Inhale, come up, reach your hands high, warrior 1. And then exhale, sweep the hands behind the back. So a couple different options. Option 1, you might grab for elbows or grab for wrists, bending into the elbows. Option 2, you could clasp the hands behind the back and roll the shoulders back. Slide the hand down the leg and open once more the chest and the heart towards the front of the room. So you aren't really leaning back, you are just expanding the chest as you roll the shoulders back. Option to open the heart, taking a warrior 1 with a little back bend. 3. Push your left heel down. Breath in. 2. And 1. Exhale, fold into humble warrior. So you'll fold forward and try to bring your right shoulder to the inside of your right knee. Now, what tends to happen with this pose is when we do it, we start to open up to the side. So in order to counteract that, pull your right hip backwards more and try to hug the body into the midline. So the knee is hugging towards the shoulder, shoulder towards the knee, while the right hip pulls back, keeping this kind of center of gravity for 3. 2. 1. Release the hands to the low back. And then just slip the hands down to the ground in a down dog lunge. So if you have to look at me, your upper body is going to be in down dog. Your legs don't change at all. You're placing the hands on the ground to the left side of your foot, really extending, relax the head. So big stretch our down dog lunge. Breath in. Breath out. Again, inhale. Exhale. Okay, we're going to move to the back of the mat now by walking our hands to the back. So you can straighten through your front leg, turn your back toe towards the back of the mat, and just move in the opposite direction. So now both toes are going to be pointing one toe in one direction, one toe in the opposite. Coming towards Skandasana, you'll walk your hands back forward, and maybe you're up here, that's fine too. You're going to lean forward and down to the right side. So you might start to get deeper as you begin to get more into your Skandasana. You could be up high, you could start to sink down, maybe lift that back toe off the mat, coming down, either heel on the front toe down or up. Continue moving forward, take 2 more rounds. You're going to take 2 more front, 2 more back. Just exploring with depth and exploring the body. Good speed. Once you're back at the front, you'll turn forward, put your hands down, frame your foot, lift your back heel off the mat. Push the hands into the ground, lift up and back, downward facing dog. Nice. So that was side 1. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale your left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Hold here, push into your hands. Breath in. Exhale, step through, low lunge. Bring the back heel down, and then inhale, lift up, warrior 1. Hands high, pull your left hip back in space. And then exhale, sweep the hands behind the back. So take the same thing you did on the other side. You might clasp the hands in a different direction, or wrap the elbows and grab for the wrists in a different direction. Now, with this, you will slide the hands down the butt, towards the thigh, or you're just going to work on opening the heart and chest forward. So how far forward can you get your belly? Maybe you open the heart up to the ceiling. Throat could even open slightly. Remember, we're still extending through the spine though, even though we're bending. Get deeper into that front leg for 3, 2, 1. Breath in. And then exhale, lower. Hands come up and over the head for our humble warrior. Left shoulder will connect to the inside of the left knee. Now, you might notice innately you're starting to widen out to the side. So big pull of the left hip back, and then drive the knee in towards the shoulder into the knee, and try to hug into this midline. Imagine if there's a line down the center of your mat. You're trying to keep the gravity right over the center of the mat. 3. Let your head be heavy. 2. And 1. Release the hands down to the hips, and then you'll sweep them down in front of you for down dog lunge side 2. So your upper body is in down dog, your legs haven't moved at all. Stretch as you push through the hands, you're stretching out and lengthening the spine. Breath in. Breath out. Notice any sensations you're feeling in the body. Just observe, be the observer. Inhale. And exhale. Once more, breath in. And then exhale, you're going to walk your hands toward the back of the mat, turn your toes out, and then we'll make our way slowly into a semblance of a Skandasana. So since you know where we're going, take your time, just continue to move back and forwards and get a little bit lower every time. Just observe also what parts of the body need to move in order for you to get deeper. You need knee bent, ankle inflection. Maybe you take little to no weight in the hands on this side, or maybe you put a lot of weight in the hands because that feels good too. Take 2 more rounds. And then once you've finished your second round, you will turn towards the front of the mat. Lift your back heel up off the mat, so you bring the toe down, plant the hands, and push up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, plank or tabletop. Elbows will move back as you lower slow. 3, 2, to the ground. 1, untuck your toes, and then bring the hands out to the side again. Inhale, lift up. Shoulders lift, head comes next. Exhale, lower down. Take 2 more. Inhale, lift up, creating this wave. Get a little bit higher every time. Exhale, lower. Once more, lift up. And then exhale, come down to the ground. Extend your left arm out to your side, straight line. So your wrist is going to be in line with your shoulder. Then push into your right hand and roll over onto that left shoulder, starting to create a nice big shoulder opener. If it feels okay, you might take your right foot and kick it up and around so it comes to the ground behind you. You could have a pillow under your head, or you could just be resting your head on the ground. Find something that works for you, focusing on the stretch in the arm. Now, chances are if you've done quite a bit of yoga, you might have done this before, but we are going to add on just a little bit extra today. So while you are in a very deep stretch, I want you to gently press your hand on that left side down into the ground. So it's got to be a really subtle press. You are in a very, very deep range of motion, so you don't have a ton of power here, but this is where we need to strengthen more than anything. Because, for example, not that you're going to do it, but if I asked you to catch a football behind your shoulder and your arm was really extended out behind you and then you had all that weight, your shoulder could get hurt. So that's why we strengthen. You never know what you're going to grab onto, what range of motion. So push a little harder into the ground and hold. 3, 2, perfect. 1, relax, roll onto your belly. Extend both arms out to a T and just take a breath in and observe your left shoulder compared to your right shoulder. How do they feel different? Maybe how do they feel the same? And let's take it on the other side. So right wrist in line with left. Roll over onto your right shoulder. If it feels okay, you might kick your left foot up and behind onto the ground. Option to have the head resting on a pillow or maybe just down onto the ground. And then first, find as deep of a stretch as is comfortable in the shoulder. So it starts with, okay, how deeply can I stretch? Where can I take this? And once you've found somewhere that you feel a good stretch, then you can start to try and push the hand down into the ground. And sometimes I've had students say, I can't push, there's nothing there, which makes a lot of sense, right? If we don't work in this range of motion, we don't have the strength in this range of motion, how are we supposed to engage? So even if you feel like you're not really able to press, focus your intention to that spot of the body. Push down a little harder. Breath in. Creating new neural pathways. Breath out, this mind-body connection. Again, inhale. Exhale. One more time. Breath in. And then roll back to center. Forehead comes to the mat. Extend both arms to a T and just observe the sensations in both arms. We are being the witness, the observer to our own life, right? All right, breath in, lift up, hands come into the push-up position, roll your shoulders back. Option 1, push-up plank. Option 2, push-up tabletop. Curl the toes under, up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, bend in your knees, and this time I'm going to ask you to travel to the top of the mat. So maybe you walk, hop if you're feeling crazy. Eventually you'll fold into Uttanasana, head is heavy. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit your butt back, take your arms wide, push through chair pose, reach high. Exhale, hands by your side, Siddhasana. Breath in. Breath out. Okay, for this next move, we are going to balance, but I don't care so much about balance as I care about the move we're taking. So you could try this without a wall or try it without help, but if you feel like it would make you feel more stable, you're welcome to grab for a wall, like stairs like me, something to give you stability, just to see how this is going to work in your practice. So shift your weight over into your left leg, bring your hands to your hips, and then you'll kick your right foot up towards your butt. So option 1 is to stay here and focus on balance while pushing right knee backwards as much as you can. So the foot is to the butt, but the knee is being pushed actively backwards, which will inevitably put you into a little bit of a back bend. That's fine. From here, you might reach down with your right hand and grab for the foot. Now, if you are able to get the foot, you are going to push the foot into the hand, staying tall. As you push the foot into the hand, can you roll right shoulder back and open the heart forward? Maybe you challenge yourself by opening the throat and gazing up to the sky. So this is not dancer pose. We're not going to dancer. We're pushing foot into hand and allowing the energy of the foot into hand to really expand the belly forward and allow the chest to open up. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Inhale, come to center. Don't release yet. Take a breath in. Keep the foot exactly where it is, and then very slowly can you release the foot without it dropping. 3, 2, squeeze if your hamstring cramps. Great job. 1. Perfect. Feet together, hands by your side. Siddhasana, release. Breath in. Breath out. Okay, slow observational movement, little building blocks. So shift your weight over into your right leg now. And we just begin with hands on the hips. Reminder, if you're finding this really hard, you are welcome to take a wall. Bend into your left knee and kick your foot to your butt. So start there, but then push the left knee backwards as far as you can. Inevitably, this will probably press you a little bit into a back bend, and that's fine. You're welcome to just stay with lifting the foot and opening the heart. So if you can also grab for the foot. You might reach back and try to find the foot. If you have the foot, you'll push foot into hand while simultaneously pushing the knee backwards. Your right hand will stay on your hip, and then maybe open the throat and heart to the sky as you roll the shoulders backwards, squeezing shoulder blades together, trying to create this back bend, this extension in the upper spine just as much as the low back. Hold. 3. Keep breathing. I know it's hard to breathe, but it's very important. Promise. Observe what's happening. 2. And 1. Come back to center. Take the bend out of the spine. Now bring the foot up towards the butt. Engage through the leg. We'll do the opposite and release the foot very slowly, trying not to let it drop. Don't worry, it's going to drop. Mine drops. It happens. Squeeze. Lift the foot up. 3. You should feel like it's about to cramp in your hamstring, or it does cramp. 2. And 1. Perfect. Release. Feet together, hands by your side. Siddhasana. Close your eyes. Option to kind of stretch, to move through the hips for a second, and then come to complete stillness. Observe the body. Observe the breath. Observe the sensations in your legs. All right, blink your eyes open. Inhale, sweep up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to either plank or tabletop, lower down slow. 3, 2, and 1 to your belly. Now, inhale, you are going to flip all the way over onto your back. No, we're not in Shavasana yet, but we are moving towards our peak pose. So one more thing to warm up though, before I feel like we're ready, is we're going to come to a bridge pose. Bring your hands down on the ground by your sides. And then inhale, lift your hips up to the sky. Great. Once you've got the hips up, try pulling them back towards you. Or sorry, not a good cue. Try pulling your feet back towards you without moving them. So when I ask you to do that, what I'm looking for is by that gentle pull of the feet, we're trying to engage more in the hips, more in the hamstrings. Lift your hips higher. And then lower down to your back. Take a breath in. And out. All right, now we're building bridge pose from the chest up. So first, before you lift your low back, lift your chest up to the ceiling and shimmy your shoulder blades towards one another. This opening of the front body, opening the heart. Shimmy a little bit more. Great. Then from here, now that your chest is already lifted, your shoulder blades are coming away from the mat, then lift your hips high and notice you're already closer to a bridge pose. Imagine your chest going up and over your head in that direction. Push into your feet equally. So in the toes, equal to the heels. Really grounding. Maybe even gentle squeeze of the butt. 3, 2, and 1. Release down. Just let the shoulder blades separate. Take the feet wide on the mat and windshield wiper the legs left and right. Okay, come back to center. And then roll back over onto your belly. So you're going to kick yourself back over, coming onto your stomach. And then inhale, come up to Sphinx pose. So you just kind of roll on over and then find your Sphinx. Elbows are going to be a little bit in front of the shoulder. Pull into your hands. So really pulling your hands towards you as you open the heart. Yes, that is our theme today. Close your eyes and gaze at the space between your eyebrows, your third eye. Breath in. And exhale. Spread the elbows, lower the forehead down to the mat. Okay, inhale, lift up. If you want, you can take a peek at me while I demo this next section. So we are moving to our peak pose. There are a lot of different options for the peak pose. What we're coming to eventually will be first kicking the feet to the butt, and maybe you can reach to the side and grab for your foot with one hand. If you can only get one foot, that's fine. You will do one-sided. Upward facing bow is what this is called. And if you can get both feet, you'll reach both hands back and grab for the feet. So for this first round, we'll do 2 rounds, and instead of lifting up, I'm actually going to ask you to either grab for 1 foot or 2 feet if you can. If you can't get it, you'll do it without hands. But first, try driving the knees down into the ground. Drive your forehead down into your mat and try to imagine your hips going towards your ribs. So you're going to create a little bit of a space under the belly and under the pelvis. So push knees down into the ground. Hold 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Keep the hands where they are. We'll do another round. Just take a big breath in. Push knees into the ground. Create a little space underneath the pelvis. Hold. 3, 2. Pushing knees down, maybe even together slightly. And 1. Relax. This time you can let go of the feet. Let the hands come forward and bring them back under the forehead for a rest. Breath in. Breath out. Okay, for the second round, instead we'll do the more traditional version, but what I see in classes a lot of time, and might be ultimately what you need to do, is I'll have someone kick their feet to their butt, and then you'll side bend, right? A big side bend to grab for 1 foot, or maybe then you bend to the other to grab the other foot. But today I would like you to try, if possible, to just bring the feet towards the butt. Great, so first start with that, feet in towards the butt. Then slide your arms forward and maybe come to Sphinx pose in this version. It doesn't have to be too high. You might have the arms really far forward. If you can, you'll lift up into Sphinx, getting a little bit taller, and you'll know where to stop. Remember, just observe what the spine is doing, what the body's doing. You might stay here, trying to lift the toes up towards the ceiling. So imagine lifting toes towards the ceiling, but also back towards the head. Or you could try to hold your Sphinx in your upper body, slide your hands back, and without shifting left or right, can you grab for the feet? And for me, I'm like, oh, I'm so close, but I can't grab it without shifting, and that's okay. I don't care. I'm not worried about that, right? I'm not concerned about actually getting my feet. I want to feel the lift the feet, lift the shoulders, reach the hands back. 3, 2, perfect. 1, take a break, forehead to the mat. Relax the legs down to the ground. Breath in. Breath out. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, same thing. Bend into the knees first. Slide your hands forward. And then slowly pull the palms back to you and come to some level of Sphinx. You might not be that high. Maybe you can get all the way up in a normal Sphinx pose with the back bend that you're used to. Now, Reach the toes up towards the sky, but also up and back towards the head. Maybe you can open the throat. Option 1 is just going to be to stay here and find this. Option 2, same thing we did. Try and lift up and then reach the hands back towards the feet without shimmying left or right. This round, if you're like, Madison, I really want to do this and I'm dying for it, you can reach over to the left and then reach over to the right and grab for your feet and go into full upward facing bow. But a reminder that just because I grab the feet doesn't make me any better than when I'm holding here, reaching for the feet and trying to do the position from a strength-based position. Because when we reach, we stretch, then we kick the feet into the hands, and we use the trajectory of the feet into the hands to bring us into a bigger back bend, which is fine too. But there is no right or wrong, only sensations. If you are an upward facing bow, I know I'm making you hold it a long time, roll forward onto the softer part of your belly, try to lift the thighs up the mat. 3, 2, and everybody lower down. 1, release the feet slowly if you have them. Hands come back under the forehead. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Once more, inhale. Exhale. Okay, I'm going to give 2 options. So if you would like to do that one more time and you really want to play with it, you are welcome to try that one more time right now. You can move independently for a little bit and just do that move. If you are ready to be done, we are going to hold an extended happy baby. So those are the 2 options. If you're ready to go into happy baby, you can flip over onto your back. If you are doing the upward facing bow, please do so now. Those of you in happy baby are working to counteract the back bending we did. So once you have either the toes or the outside edges of the feet, make sure your knees are wide, triceps are on the inside of the knees. Push the low back down into the ground. Those of you in upward facing bow, you'll hold for 3 or so breaths, and then you'll meet us here doing the exact same thing, just for a little bit shorter amount of time. If you're in happy baby, let your eyes close. And then gently push feet into hands, hands into feet. Meet us here if you haven't already, because we are going to move out and into an easy twist. So knees can come together, 90-degree bend, arms come out to a T, and then just drop the knees over to the right side as you gaze to the left. Another way we're counteracting after doing this back bending. If you felt compression in the low back during any of the back bending postures, typically this means that we aren't extending enough from the spine. So we're just dumping into the low back rather than using our abdominal muscles to lengthen. So just be aware of that, and it's okay, it's completely normal, but this is why we do these cool down things too, because if there's any residual pressure, this can really help to release it. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Inhale, bring yourself to center. Even out the hips briefly. Find yourself on the center of the mat. Maybe you wiggle. And then exhale, you'll drop the knees over to the left. Maybe you bump the left hip under. And then gaze over to the right if it feels okay on the neck. If there are areas of your body that are hanging on in this twist, tell them it's okay, you can turn off. Maybe you're clenching through the glutes or the shoulders, even the hands. The hands should be nice and relaxed if possible. Breath in. And a breath out. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Even the hips out again, and then wrap the arms around the shins. Draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice little squeeze. Maybe you even lift the head, shoulders, and neck up off the ground to contract into a tiny little ball for one more breath in. And then exhale, explode out into your Shavasana. Extend the legs long, palms face up. Now is the time that if you would like to get any props for your Shavasana, you can absolutely grab them. If you are like, Madison, I'm so close, but I'm not totally ready for Shavasana, you can take any other movements you need to let the body feel still. Today being all about this observation, right? Observe what your body is asking for. I spoke with a student the other day who told me the hardest part of class for them is Shavasana. So if you find any natural resistance to Shavasana, just know that that's normal, but maybe observe that as well. And then take a little wiggle of the jaw, a wrinkle of the nose. Make sure your entire face is relaxed. Let your body get heavy on the mat. Breath in. Exhale, Shavasana. Come back to the space by just observing your physical body. How does your body feel in this moment? Are there any sensations you can notice on your skin? As the owner of this body, what is it like to experience the world through physical touch? Inhale deeply. Exhale. Reawaken your body slowly. Maybe in a way that's different than you would normally reawaken it after a yoga class. And then gradually allow your movements to get larger. Maybe you rock the head side to side. Reach long. Stretch like you're waking up. Second time, maybe third time today if you had a siesta. And then eventually you can draw your knees towards your chest, roll over onto your favorite side into fetal pose. Recognizing the strength that you've built, but also this ability to observe, right? This new skill where we can step back and just be. And then press yourself up to a comfortable seat, facing the sound of my voice, eyes closed. You can either bring palms together at heart center or maybe two hands over the heart, whatever you prefer. Allow your spine to grow longer as you take a breath in. And then exhale, bow your chin to seal your practice. Inhale, head can come back up. Gradually come back to the space around you. Open your eyes very slowly. Thank you all. Fantastic work today. I hope you have a great week. I hope you observe many beautiful and wonderful things, and I will see you next Sunday.